There's so much drama going on in Nigeria sport, especially basketball. Yes, all through last night till tonight, we've been talking about basketball because the Tigers, they've been having issues from not getting money to travel and finally getting something at dying moment, trying to put up a roster from home base and foreign base and trying to fly out tonight into Tunisia to play the qualifiers for the 2025 Afrobasket Championship. That will be our focus tonight. And of course, to talk about NWFL, yes, Nigerian Women's Football League, will also get our attention. The Super Falcons on Friday, they will be taking on Cameroon. So it's the eve of the game against Cameroon, the second round of qualifiers at the Olympics. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Welcome to Sport Tonight.
Sporty greetings to you wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwa. And Cecilia, now you make me remember when I was doing the drama series. Maybe I should begin something with basketball, because if you take a look at basketball in Nigeria, since 2017 till today, they've been giving us drama, you know, undiluted drama. It's sad, and it's not just for basketball in Nigeria. It's a clear testament of the sort of leadership that we have. Football got all of the attention. The Super Eagles got all the attention they needed. They got rewards. They didn't even win when they came back with national honors. What are we doing with basketball?
Leadership, that's where it all falls down. It's not the local game we'll be talking about. I'm talking about Nigerian sport. We'll also go to Europe. Yes, the Champions League will get our attention because the Sima is back. And also trying to get Napoli into scoring again. And we'll talk about Arsenal, how they lost it at the final moment. And a Brazilian star who is facing jail term for rape. So much more to talk about on the show tonight. But Bolu, he's back with us on the show. You found your voice finally.
Yeah, the voice is back. And it's just like on a day that I may have to lose it again, thanks to the drama in the basketball. Too many shenanigans. And it's been like this for almost 10 years in Nigerian basketball. From one bad news to another sorry news. Now we are hoping and praying things work well for them. But at the same time, the women are giving us joy. The NWFL, I saw goals and I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
From 5-0 to 4-2. I think the biggest shock has to be Dana Quinn winning their game by 4-2. That's amazing. And there's a certain Tony Cruz who stepped out of retirement. I want to play for Germany at the Euros.
I hope. Okay. I think there's so much to talk about on the show tonight. But Austin, first of all, let's start with basketball. Yes, the drama is on. Late last night, about 10 p.m. or thereabout, the NBBF on their official Twitter handle sent out a tweet that they are pulling out of the qualifiers for the 2025 Afrobasket Championship. And of course, it's starting on Friday. When we saw that tweet last time, we were wondering what the heck is going on? Because, I mean, everybody has been talking about the Africa Cup of Nations. I don't know what happened, how they waited so late to cry out that they needed funds. Maybe they want to put it on the sports ministry, or just maybe they did not know they were going to play qualifiers, because we know that the board is not even united. This is not this is no news. This is what we already know. Now, if maybe they had to wait till the final moment, you have 2 days to go to a tournament, and then you're telling everyone that you do not have money to take flight. We're talking about flight tickets to go to an African country in Tunisia for qualifiers for Afrobasket Championship. Austin, I did not get it until we got a release from the ministry today that, yes, they're putting everything, they're putting money together to ensure that they're able to travel to Tunisia for basketball. I mean, it's embarrassing, really. This is Nigeria.
It's heartbreaking, Cecilia. It's disappointing. This is the Tigers we're talking about. When they won the Afrobasket in 2015, I was like, now we are back with a bang for the, for basketball in Africa. Because we went to the Rio 2016 Olympics and we still did fairly well. But from that election in 2017 till today, Cecilia, it's been one drama to another. The producers of this script, I think they are producing the world's longest series. Doesn't seem to want to end. No end in sight whatsoever. It's just shameful, Cecilia. This is a story of greed, of cluelessness, of leadership that is out of place. The Nigeria Basketball Federation, all of this is on them. Because This federation has people who don't have business with basketball in Nigeria. And that's why they don't care. They have basketball in Nigeria on a constant neck choke. They don't care because they're not the ones that are affected. If the ministry didn't intervene, it's the players that will miss out of the 2025 Afrobasket qualifier. These administrators will still be in their houses lounging, and now that they're going to go, they will come out, dust their passports, and go sign for ESTA code. The problems will not end, Cecilia. It's such a shame, because we shouldn't be saying this in 2024. Look at what we were talking about table tennis the other day. How the players got in and had walkover against Japan, and it's game over for them even before it started. How do you want us to go and play basketball? I think the last two continental competitions we went for, when I was having the shot, I think one was with you, the other was with Yemi. I told you guys, play sharp, go home, expect nothing from basketball in Nigeria. And they were embarrassed, they were defeated. Small countries in Africa used them to say, look, we are preparing. You are no giants without work, because if you guys think you just come here and say, oh, we are the Tigers of Nigeria, it doesn't work. Preparation, leadership, administration, most of the times you will win before you get on the court. Look, now that this has happened, Cecilia, I don't know about you and Bolu, I have said to myself, with basketball in Nigeria, give me whatever they have and I will take.
Bolu, were you shocked when you saw that tweet last night?
It's more like a mixed reaction, sort of, because we've seen this over and over and over again. I remember for years, we've been hearing stories of, Musakida was talking about how he's one funding some things.
Yeah, I said his own billions.
Yeah.
The ministry's
tomorrow it's okay, ministry are keeping quiet. And I remember many of us, if not all of us, were excited that, okay, it is now sports ministry.
Yeah.
Not youth development and sport. Okay, yeah. Well, it's alone that everything will be sorted out. I criticize many of the things done to Super Eagles, and people were like, effort. I said, no, if it's by effort, then many people should be awarded different things. Yeah. Some persons are even winning medals. For example, badminton, Mokpeyori just won gold medal. Nothing is being done. Yeah. Still an African champion. Then come basketball. Even before this, for years, they were dragging who is the president and factions. Yeah. Now it is settled. We are all excited. Now, days to an... I'm talking about this. The event starts tomorrow by 11 p.m. Yeah. Nigeria's first game is by 4. So we don't even know what's going on. 2
p.m.
For 2 p.m. Nigeria
against Libya.
Against Libya. And that looked like to be even the weakest link in the group.
And they've not left now. They should leave at about 10 p.m. or 11 p.m.
And the game
tonight.
is 2 p.m. Yeah. So it means even if they get to play that game, there will be no rest. Just land, take a chill pill in your hotel.
Land. Go straight to the court.
If you have a few minutes, you can just rest your head. And they are playing Uganda, who defeated them at the last Afrobasket. And they will be playing Cape Verde, who defeated the same Uganda, finished 4th. Yeah. It's definitely not an easy journey. And I'm sad that we are going through this. I say it all the time. Without anybody helping football will run in Nigeria without any stress. But these other sports are the ones we need help. And unfortunately, it's not coming. Yeah, I saw that. Even the money they said they've approved, not that they've given them more. They said, okay, find a way to sort yourself. In about 3 weeks, we'll sort it out. What's the proof? What's the essence or even evidence that in 3 weeks they will sort this out? What's the assurance that when it's time to play the next phase, we won't come back to the same problem?
Okay, that's a big question we'll all need to answer. But let's just run through the group that Nigerians, they are, the D Tigers, because 20 teams are competing. Only 16 will qualify for the 2025 Afrobasket Championship. Of course, it's over 3 windows. This is the first window in February. The second one will be in November. And of course, the last one will be February next year. For each you play, you need points for you to carry over to the next window. Now, this is the group Nigeria in. We have Cape Verde, Nigeria, Libya, and of course, Uganda. Let's take a look at the fixtures. I just heard from my producer now the game against Libya has been adjusted to 8 p.m. because the D Tigers are traveling. 2015 champions, so they need to give them that credit. Let's take a look at how the fixture is like. So Nigeria and Libya. So this game will now be 8 p.m. That's when they will be playing this. So they have some time to actually, chill before they head to court. And of course, on Saturday, it's going to be against Uganda. And you know what happened in the last qualifiers we're trying for the Olympics. And of course, Uganda, not a small team. That's on Saturday. Then the final one will be Cape Verde. After this window, there's November. There's also the one in February next year. So whatever points they have here, they'll carry it over to the next one. But we're having 20 teams, 16 qualifying, and the Tigers just leaving the country. About leaving the country tonight for a tournament that is starting tomorrow. You want to ask so many questions. But we were trying to actually reach the president of Nigeria Basketball Federation, talking about Musa Kida, well, not picking calls, not replying to messages. We hope that we'll get answers from them, because we need to really understand why, I mean, they have to wait this long to cry out that they don't have money. And of course, not just that, why they don't have a budget. Does the sports ministry actually have their own budget for the year? Or do they have their timetable for the year, the events they are taking part in? I learned from a very reliable source that if not for Rena Wakama, the coach of the D Tigers, maybe that team won't be able to play the Olympic qualifiers that they play. So the coach was literally the one carrying the team. That is not the story we want to hear, Austin. But well, we have to rest basketball here, because I know you can use this whole show to talk about basketball. This is not
I know,
nice.
but we need to say this because we need to call out the leadership of the Nigerian Basketball Federation. They know me. I call them out all the time. And I like that you've just mentioned the president, because everything, absolutely everything, rises and falls on leadership. So I always tell presidents of sporting federations in Nigeria, I said, this is a full-time job. If you're a bank MD, you can't be a sporting federation president, because you need to give it time, particularly if your sport is ranked among the top 5 sports in Nigeria. And basketball is one of those sports. So we cannot have MBBF and there is no correspondence whatsoever. Nobody is speaking to the media. There's a serious crisis on ground. You cannot reach president. You cannot talk to vice president. No correspondence whatsoever. What are we doing? Who forced you to get into the office? If you can't do it, step aside, because basketball is sinking. It is clear for everyone to see. I look at that group, maybe they might just try to do something against Libya, but I doubt they can beat Cape Verde and Uganda, because those countries have been doing so much for their basketball. Basketball in Nigeria has been sleeping since 2017, and it's because of terrible leadership and administration that I've seen from persons who are in charge of MBBF. If you know you're not passionate about it, you know nothing about the sport, you just want to have a position, go get something else. Not sport. It requires a lot of attention. You must be available to talk to people so we know where the problem is. Because this thing is in the calendar for the year. You know you're going to play qualifiers for the 2025 Afrobasket, and no words whatsoever. You just pop up on your Twitter handle and tell people that you're not going to the Afrobasket qualifiers. It must stop.
It has to. Bolu, I mean, your final thoughts on this one, because this is really heartbreaking. Sometimes you don't want to talk about it, but you just can't help it, because it hurts, especially the business of it, because without the players, there will be no administrators. Maybe they don't even understand this, because we've not been the Women's League, I mean, since 2019, that was the last time we had a full-fledged league. 2019, this is 2024. The men, like, they come together like maybe 2 months, they play like prepare for ball, and that's all. They get a champion and then they relax. Now, we're talking about Rivers Hoopers, where they're grouped. The group they're in, I don't even know if they're going to get out of that group. They haven't been playing basketball. Of course, they're going to warm-up games, pick-up games. That's what they will rely on to go compete with a country that have full-fledged leagues.
First of all, let me pick from where Austin ended. We knew the draws for this first phase of the qualifiers was done in November. In 2 days, it will be exactly 3 months. So let's assume we had no plan. Oh, they did the draws in November. Oh, now you'll be playing A, B, and C. Prep should have started then.
Yeah.
You should have been crying. We don't have money. Oh.
Precisely.
We need money. I want to believe there's a budget for the year from Sport Ministry. I want to believe there's supposed to be a calendar for the year for MBBF. So if we are not working together, I say it every time, without athletes, administrators are almost useless. What are you doing? Who are you leading?
They won't lead anyone. They have no job.
It's like there's no Nigeria. What do we need the president of Nigeria for? It makes absolutely no sense. And if care is not taken, when the February 2025 phase come again, we'll be here again talking about the same thing.
God forbid.
Because it doesn't show that we are ready to make a change. And it's sad. You spoke about no basketball league for women. Because of sponsorship money, they've been dragging leadership for almost 10 years back and forth. And athletes are suffering. Then people come about there, why do our players go to obscure countries to play league? I remember listening to a player that said, where I am, the money is lesser than what I was earning in Nigeria, but they don't owe me. So some persons just prefer to go where there's peace of mind. How do River Supers will go and lose? The people start blaming them, they are not good enough. They are good enough, but how do they showcase themselves if they are not playing regular basketball here in Nigeria?
All right, I hope tomorrow when we come here, maybe we'll be talking about the victory at 8 p.m. By 9 p.m. we'll be here. I mean, give you updates of what's currently going on with the D Tigers. If they're able to make it tonight to Tunisia, yes, they will be making it because some of them are already at the airport. All right, let's talk about the good one. Yes, the Olympics. The Super Falcons are trying to qualify for the Olympics for the first time in 16 years. 2012, they were out in London. Of course, the Rio Games 2016, they were out. Tokyo 2020, also out. And now, Coach Randy Wardrum is trying to see how he can qualify the team for that. The Super Falcons, the good news is most times after the World Cup, when you're playing Olympic qualifiers, either the coach has been asked to go and then you just have someone stepping in to try to qualify the players. Most of the foreign-based players, you may not have full complements of the players. You start calling in players 2 or 3 days to that, and then we don't get qualified. But the good news is we have full house. The squad at the World Cup, except Onome B and maybe, I think she was the only one missing here. Maranzi, of course, who has retired, and Francisca Odega, who is not part of the squad. But every other player, they are all here. So we have a full house. All the foreign-based players, 21 of them in camp. The head coach, Randy Wardrum, is back into the squad after, the Justin Maduga, took them in 4 matches, drawing 1, and of course, winning 3 convincingly. Cape Verde, we saw that 7-3 on aggregate. I'm still smiling about that. Ethiopia, of course, right here in Abuja. Watch that live, what the Super Falcons did. But hey, Cameroon, the hurdle, second round qualifiers.
Well, that's another worry. The fact that we have the full squad and have Randy Wardrum is probably a little bit of a worry. Remember, they played a few games without Randy Wardrum. His last game in charge was the game against England at the Women's World Cup. Since then, it's been Madugu that's taking charge with different players. Now everyone is back. It means some of those that were regulars doing well the last time are not going to start or even play this game at all. Then bringing them together against a Cameroon. Cameroon are among those that have stopped us from qualifying for the Olympic Games. And the interesting thing is, the years Nigeria failed to qualify for the Olympics, they used to win the AFCON or the WAFCON or ALCON. So how come they never qualify for Olympics? 16 years is
because they will come back, the federation will scatter the squad.
Scatter everything.
Yeah, I think they are to blame. They actually took the blame.
I just hope we at least settle. Cameroon, they are trying, they are up and coming, yes, but compared to Falcons, we shouldn't be worried about qualifying for the Olympic Games. But if you remember 16 years we've not been there, the worry is acceptable and it's understandable. I just hope bringing everybody together, including Ashley Plumter, who I was about, I'm back to the squad and everything. Maybe they should just see it as a payback that you guys messed up for not letting us do it once, and then let's complain later. Let's just do everything we can. I've missed the Super Falcons at the Olympic Games. Hopefully, they do enough to qualify against Cameroon and we can put to rest some of the unnecessary distractions.
Necessary distraction. Austin, Chairman Kanadozie, she's been awesome. The safest hands we have globally.
I know, and she's growing in confidence, and that's what success can do to you. When you build that sort of momentum, you must sustain it. I'm so proud of Chiamaka Nadozie, and it rubs her because whenever Oluchi Olueli will get a chance, you'll find out that because of the performance of Chiamaka, she will also do better. That's what it means when you have the whole team, feeling the same vibes. Let's listen to Chiamaka Nadozie. She's pumped up and looking forward to that qualifying match against Cameroon tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel very good and I feel confident. I'm happy to be back again this year with the girls, and we are in a good spirit and everyone is happy to be here. Of course, we are prepared mentally, physically, we are prepared. The season is on in our clubs and we've been playing well, we've been training so hard. While playing there, our minds are here, thinking about the tasks ahead of us. And we did very well during the World Cup, and we don't want to relent on the previous success. This is a new year, new phase. Like you said, this is Africa, different ball game. So we just have to focus. Cameroon is a very good side, and we just have to be careful, and we just have to come out strong and play against them. And hopefully we'll bring the 3 points home. Lots of targets, but we just have to take it step by step. We don't need to jump anything. Just no stress, no competition, just me and me, So just training by training, games by game. Hopefully we'll get there. I feel very good, and I was happy being the first ever African female goalkeeper to win the African Best. And like I told them there, this is the first, but this is not the last. You know, the goal is continue to work hard, you know, to do it again and again, to make Africa proud and Nigeria proud. For me, this is not a personal stuff, you know, it's just for the whole goalkeepers out there, you know. This shows that we are doing a good job in the whole of Africa, and the European world, they are seeing us that we have a very good goalkeeper in Africa, so, and it's very good.
That's what it is, you know, and that's the confidence we want to see. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. I was going to get to Bolu, but Bolu, just hold your thoughts. I'll come back to you. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, more from the camp of the Super Falcons as they get ready to play the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television on the Super Falcons of Nigeria. They will be bidding to make the final round of qualifiers for the 2026 Paris Olympics. Is it 2026? Yes, 2024 Paris Olympics. And then they have to go past the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon, just gone by goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie. Bolu, at the time we were crying and praying to God to give us a goalkeeper for the Super Eagles, the Super Falcons, and a goalkeeper that was, you know, taking the world by storm. And I like everything she talked about. And with that sort of confidence, I think they can do the job against Cameroon. Do you think so?
Some fans spoke about how come Arsenal ladies are not playing in the Champions League. I said, go and ask Nadozie. She's the sole reason why they are not there. She's been brilliant. I remember when she made her debut at the World Cup in 2019, people were like, leave Olueyi, she's good enough. My mindset was, who is this small girl? Hope she doesn't mess things up. And since then, it's been no looking back at all. Nadozie has been brilliant back to back to back, and she's definitely deserving the best goalkeeper in Africa. I like the confidence, and I like the calmness. Speaking about, yes, it's not about me, it's not about us as individuals. Even playing with our clubs in Europe, we still think about Nigeria, we still think about Africa, and the focus is the Olympic Games. And I want to believe that's the general spirit between everybody, not just herself, the entire team. Because, like I said, she was probably a toddler when Nigeria went to the Olympics last. We want to qualify. Many of these girls, if all of them actually, except maybe Olueyi, I don't think any of them are still professional. When the Super Falcons qualify for Olympics, so they want to put their name in the sand of time. They want to rewrite the history of Nigeria. So I want to see Falcons out there. And I like the confidence. I like how they are growing. And the one thing Justin Madugu did the last time was he made the team unpredictable. Because people have felt, without the Oshoalas, Rashida, Tanko, the team will struggle. And without those guys, they scored lots of goals in their last round. Unlike Cameroon, who needed extra time to win that game against Uganda. I think the confidence is high. I like that everyone is back. I like Randy Wardle. I just hope it doesn't cause disrupt in the team. The team come together well, knowing the talent they have, knowing the kind of coordination we believe they do have. I think it may not be easy. It may not be home and away win. I don't care. It could be draw, I don't care. Just qualify for the Olympic Games.
Simple. But after Cameroon, South Africa or Tanzania is waiting in the wings, because the winner of that will also face the winner of Nigeria and Cameroon. For Coach Randy Wardle, he's happy to be back with the squad. It's been away since August. We haven't seen him in a long while, but he's really excited. Back with his squad, and of course, his target is that ticket to Paris.
I'm always excited to be back. I mean, I love the team and the players. So, you know, it almost you arrive and you see them at the hotel or at the airport, and you just want to give them all a big hug, because they're really, really special to me. And it's just so good to be back in the fold to do it. And thankful that the NFF got things resolved to have me come back. It's been a long journey and a lot of ups and downs. And, you know, I think as any coach will tell you, you need time, you know, with the team. And I think we saw what our men's team did, and I know the country's very proud. And first of all, my congratulations to Coach and to the Super Eagles for the job they did. But as you can see, it takes time, you know, to get things going in the right direction. And so I think we're headed there, and I'm really happy with where we are at this point. I think we're as prepared as we can be, considering all of our players are playing abroad. And we only have this short window to come in and train and prepare. So anytime you have an international break, there's really not a lot of training time, especially when you have two matches. But coming off off the World Cup, I think the players are in great spirits, and you know, we respect Cameroon, and we know it'll be a great match in both legs. But I think we'll be ready. Well, I think we have the players, and that's what it's all about. You know, I think you have to have the players first. I think, you know, you can take any top manager in the world, and if they don't have the players, it's a difficult job. But I think we have the players. I think the key is, can we in a short couple of days come in and get our team organized enough to be prepared for these matches. But I am confident in our coaching staff, and I'm confident in the players. We'll conquer them. Yeah, we're ready.
I love that smile. You know, that's one thing about Randy Wardrobe, that level of confidence and the smile. You know, that's why the players actually love him. I mean, he's happy to be with, well, the players he missed so much. And I'm happy why he was away. He got capable hands that were taking charge of these players. I mean, the squad, Rashida Ajibade, Uche Nakano, Mode Gift, Esther Koronko. You can go on and on and on. Deborah Abiodun. I mean, there's so many. So these are the stars that will be taking on Cameroon, who will be without their star player, Ajara Njoya. So she will not be there. But Cameroon, as you mentioned earlier, 3-2 on aggregate. That's how they were able to edge Uganda. And so they were up against Nigeria, 6 p.m. tomorrow. So by 9 p.m. when we're here on Sports Night, we should be talking about maybe a victory. And the next second leg will be on Monday in Abuja. Okay, let's leave the Super Falcons, because I know we can actually do a Super Falcons show. Yeah, Austin will be ready for that. All right, still staying with the women's game. Now, let's talk about NWFL. That's Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership, the top flight in the country. 22 goals scored match day 9. Yes, it was a goal fest, starting from Lafayette to Abuja to Lagos, everywhere. It was all goals, goals, goals. Now, let's just run through the games that were played on Wednesday across Nigeria. Starting up with Nasarawa Amazons, who were 5-0 winners over Niger Rattles, who this team is not looking good for them this season. Dana's Ladies, the newcomers, beating Confluence Queens 4 goals to 2. So that was the highest number of goals in a game. 6 they scored. Confluence Queens also tried to get back into the game, but they couldn't. Dana's Ladies in Lagos at Unicon were able to get the 3 points. Adamawa Queens and Abia Angels ended 2-1, and Royal Queens and Heartland goalless. And this, Heartland had to drop from the position they were at the top of the table, and Nasarawa Amazons had to take over following because of that victory. Let's flip over to the other group. Rivers Angels were 2-0 winners over Remo Stars and Ladies. Delta Queens and Ekiti Queens ended 2-1 in favor of the home team. Bayeso Queens and Sunshine Queens, the home team, also winning. And of course, FC Robo right here in Lagos against Edo Queens, it was 1-0. I mean, Shokorat was the one who got that. FC Robo, 2 of their players just left to Spain to play for Madrid. Esther Oyenezide, yes, I know everyone will be happy for that midfielder who knows how to score a fantastic free kick. But even without those 2 key players, they were able to get that victory over Edo Queens. Now, let's quickly focus on the first game, Dana's Ladies and Confluence Queens. That's a game you would not expect, because you have a team coming into the NWFL. This is their first time in the top flight, but the way they handle Confluence Queens shows that you cannot. I mean, there is no small team right now, whether you're coming in or not. Because I remember what Remo Stars Ladies did to Rivers Angels when they went to Okene. It was a draw, but hey, now they had to, you know, respect 7-time champions.
Because Confluence Queens were 3 points ahead Danas before the game.
Yeah.
Okay, at least if Danas could have got a draw in that game, it would have been a brilliant result. Oh, okay, they picked up a draw, but it just when they were 3-0, okay, 1-0, 2-0, at the 3-0, I thought this was game over. Then when they pulled one back, oh, okay, maybe a comeback and start, but I say, calm down, collect 4. So no chance at all. And now they are one of the best scoring teams in the league. They are scoring goals and they are defending very well. I think they've been brilliant. They've been surprising. And the fact that most, if not all, their players are girls. Yeah. When I talk about girls, I mean young girls. I don't think they have any player up to 25 in their squad. No. Young ladies, and they are playing so well with confidence, without fear of anybody, especially when they are playing at home. I think this is what we want to see. The future of the Super Falcons is just too great. It means that, well, it just showed when the big girls didn't come around and they still did so well. So I like what the girls are doing, and there's nothing new to say about Nasarawa. How do you score 5 goals in one game? The best scoring team in the league, the best defense in the league. It just shows why they are top of their conference. And I like what we are seeing in the NWFL. Normally, you could have called the likes of Bayelsa, Rivers, and Koda top, but now, no. As it stands now, Ghana's girls are among the guys that will qualify for the playoffs. As it stands now, we don't know what tomorrow holds, but the league should end today. They are making the playoffs. That's the kind of competition we are looking for.
That's how competitive it is. And I know, Austin, this is something we always want to see. And then because you're actually enjoying, this is a Nicol Stadium. Yes, we know that. It's always beautiful when you watch football games there.
There you go. Look at it. Now, when you put this side by side with what we saw,
we're going to see it later.
with Rivers Angels, you start wondering, this is good for television, you know. This is good for us to promote the league. This is good for the ladies to play good football. I love what we saw in week 9 of the NWFL. 21 goals scored, you know, and these girls are having fun with it. Dana's ladies, what a story. With that win, they shot themselves into 3rd position ahead of Abia Queens, ahead of Confluence Queens, and some of the traditional Adamawa Queens in that group. Yes, we know Group B is where all of the fighting will happen, but you would expect Dana's ladies, newly promoted side, to be giving us this sort of story to tell. We love it. It confirms that the league is competitive. It confirms that talents abound in Nigeria, you know, even with young girls. And we've said it, that we can use football to promote inclusion. We can use football to empower young girls. And that's what Dana's ladies as a football club is already doing. Shout out to everyone involved in that project. And of course, the NWFL. If you take a look at Group B, Rivers Angels needed to win that game, Cecilia. And yes, they did. And now they're on top of the table. We know that the lion will not struggle in the jungle. If there's no food, you must find something to eat. That's the story of Rivers Angels. With Women's League football in Nigeria, they must just find a way to prove superiority. So aside that, fantastic results for FC Robo Queens also. They needed to do just enough to win that one in Lagos against Edo Queens. Now, Edo Queens, they've dropped to 4th on the Group B table, getting tougher. Now, look at that, Cecilia.
Yeah, that's a blessing, Okme, you know, for one of those Falcons player. I mean, what she did right there, I mean, despite the pitch, I mean, it's raining heavily, and then she was able to get that. Just look at the technique she used in this particular free kick. That's blessing Okme right there.
Yes, but then again, the goalkeeper can argue that because of the rain, the ball was slippery, all of that. And it seems like the rain even poured some blessings on the pitch. So it's even better looking wet than when it was dry the other day. It was like that of an old man with a bald head, you know? It wasn't looking good. So, again, we'll call out everyone involved in River State. Barrister Chris Green is a very good friend and a very experienced football administrator. Barrister, you cannot be in charge of football in River State, and we will be seeing this sort of, you know, pitch for television. It's not good. The ladies deserve better, and I hope that will change. But congratulations to Rivers Angels on their win, and now group leaders on that Group B table, Cecilia.
All right, let's get reaction from the game from Blessing, who scored that fantastic free kick, and also from the coach, White Ubunda, and the coach of Remo Stars ladies, Wemimu Matthew.
I feel so great and I feel so happy by scoring the first goal by leading ahead of the opponent. After the 1-1, we all came back home to train together and give ourselves a target that we are going to win in our home. We never wanted to lose the 2 goals because the 2 home is advantage for us too. So we drew with Robo and we have to fight more to get this 3 points from Remo Stars. Well, we are going to fight more and make sure our own target this season for Rivers Angels is just to qualify for the CAF. And we pray to maintain our top.
I would say I'm very, very happy. Bear in mind that last week we drew with Robo Queens here, and the result didn't go down well with the supporters of the team and the owners of the team. I think for us getting these 3 points today, I think I would say I'm very, very happy. I would say that the rain disrupted the style of play that we wanted to play today, but somewhere along the line, I think the rain came down and the game went on. By the end of the day, we were able to get the result during the rainy season. Bear in mind that we know we are in River State, we are River people, so we know how to go about it when it rains. Our target is to ensure that we qualify for the Super 6. And for us to qualify for the Super 6, that 3 points at we do is very, very important to the team. We don't want to know whether we are playing away or home, but to me, I feel that it is difficult playing home matches. Away, we relax and play our football. So definitely we are going to do to ensure that we get the 3 points at stake.
Well, the only takeaway I saw there was for us to go back and try and correct some of our mistakes. Because during the game we missed a lot of chances of goal scoring. I think they need us to go back and work on it. And like our first game was a mistake from the goalkeeper. That's why we need to go. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game, but that mistake, well, another one entered after that under the radar. That's what footballers do. Now, let's take a look at the table. We'll start with Group A. National Army Zones, by virtue of that 5-0 bashing of Nigeria Tells, now they are on 18 points, and the goal difference is +11. That's a huge one for them on 17 points. I mean, the Heartland, of course, had to drop after dropping points at home, 15 points away from home, 15 points. The goal difference is +7. Dana's ladies that we just talked about, by virtue of those goals that they scored now, this is where they are, they're third. So as he mentioned earlier, talking about Bolu, if the season ends now, they're in Super 6. That's a team that is just coming up. And you ask him, where should Edo Queens be? Yeah, Edo Queens, well, they're somewhere. Okay, the Conference Queens, I mean, this is the group for Conference Queens. They are 4th on the table. And of course, Royal Queens are 8 points from 9 matches. Let's go to Group B, where you have all the big teams in one group. Rivers Angels on 18, a goal difference was +7. Bayelsa Queens are second, +7, a goal difference for 16 points. They have lost just one game. Bayelsa and Rivers, they've lost just one game each. And for Rivers Angels, they've 3 draws and, of course, 5 wins. That's the reason why they are top of the table. FC Robo Queens, of course, they are on 15 by virtue of just that one goal over Edo Queens. Edo Queens are 4th on the log after that defeat in Edo State. Of course, they're in Lagos, and they will be hosting Rivers Angels in Benin City next week, Wednesday. Sunshine Queens are at the bottom after 9 games, 7 points. So this is what the table look like. So many games to go. So the players, obviously, and those teams who are trying to get into the business of the Super 6 will have a lot to do to be able to get into that. I'm talking about Delta Queens, the champions. They are 5th in that very top group, Group B. You also have Remo Stars ladies here, they are newcomers. Ekiti Queens also, another newcomers, are 7th. Of course, Sunshine at the bottom. While Nigeria Tells, Adamawa, Abia Angels, and of course the ones that also are bottom in Group A.
Well, everyone knows, especially Group B, every time, how tough it's always been.
Yeah.
And sometimes, not even sometimes, most of the times, the winner of the Super 6 end up coming from that group, because you can't have Robo, have Bayelsa, have Rivers, have Delta Queens, all of them in the same group. It means if you can hustle to go past that group, you should do enough to win the Super 6 in the end. I love the competition I'm seeing. I love the fight. Normally, before now, you could have beaten your chest that Rivers Angels and Bayelsa could walk past everyone. But no, what we are seeing now, you have to fight for your place. In fact, there's no guarantee now that if these guys make it to the Super 6, they will do enough to beat the guys in Group A. That's the competition we love to see. That's the women's game we want to see. Like Austin was talking about, 21 goals in one match. They even sometimes in the NPFA that play 10 games, we don't get up to 21 goals.
Yeah, and it's shocking to know that teams like Edo Queens and Delta Queens have lost so many games. Edo Queens have lost 4 this season, and Delta champions have lost 3 this season, and that's why they are where they are right now. All right, let's head to Europe. The Champions League, starting with what Arsenal did last night. How do you wait till 92 minutes to concede? I mean, the goal was fantastic. I mean, give it to the player who got that goal, Galeno. I mean, Arsenal were timid on the field. I was watching the game, I was like, I don't understand. Where is the cutting edge? How did they concede that sublime stoppage time goal? I mean, you were already going away with goalless, and we felt goalless is not a good result for them. Yes, you're playing FC Porto. Yes, it's away from home. But that's not how you go into a Champions League game. From the run they've been having this year, we've been praising Arsenal. They've scored 21 goals this year. They haven't lost a game in 5 matches. And now the Champions League is putting a dent to that fantastic record into 2024.
The interesting thing is this is the second cup game they are playing this year, and they've lost to both of them. The first was an FA Cup against Liverpool. They lost to one, now they'll consider. And based on stats, there's been only one away goal anytime Arsenal and Porto play. The 6 games they both played before yesterday, only one. Even that away goal, Arsenal scored and they lost that game 2-1. So whenever both of them play, the home team always end up winning the game. It's only one time they had a goalless draw. So maybe that could come to play as well. And like we've always said over time, the most important thing in football is to win. And without winning, without scoring, you can't win. Porto could have even scored earlier than that. They had the chance to have scored 2 goals because they had better chances. But Arsenal were just possessing without penetration. And why? They are not even shooting. It felt like it was a different
Arsenal. Like they were afraid.
Like in the Premier League, Odegaard would have shot the ball, Saka would have played the shot and everything. But yes, it was just about pass. And I've read some Arsenal fans complaining that Ramsdale wouldn't have considered that goal. Raya messed up. Raya what?
What?
That was probably the goal of the round.
Do you understand? That's sublime. It was
literally the last kick of the game. I think you have to give it to Galemo for that goal. Arsenal still have the chance there. They are playing at home. But now the pressure is more because their last 5 knockout games in the Champions League, they've lost. The last time they even progressed to round of 16 was years ago. So
2010, the quarter,
against Porto. They beat Porto 5-0 in the second leg. So this time around, it will be playing in the back of their mind. And now we are back. How do we fight back? And the fact that it's a long time. It's about 3 weeks before they play the second leg. How would their results in the Premier League, where they are fighting to win the league, be? I'm sure when it comes out to choosing between Champions League and the Premier League, Arteta will have a huge headache. So that loss may end up costing them in the second leg. But it's Emirates. It's about 3 weeks. They may end up just scoring another 3 or 4 goals in the second leg.
Interesting. Austin, let me come to you here. I mean, Arsenal, no single shots on target.
I know. Look, guys, no disrespect to FC Porto, 2-time Champions League winners. They are a traditional side in the Champions League. Last season, they had a good run in. I know this is all about tactics. You know, they've got people who watch opponents' last games just to know how to approach it. And I'm sure they thought that they could catch Porto on the counter and maybe get that last-minute winner. And then it turned out to be a Porto getting that extra time, last gaps, stunning strike by Galeno. Look, I've listened to Arsenal fans in the UK talk about that goal. They try to turn it down. It's quality 100%. Yes, I agree that Raya was a bit out of his line and out of position. So I've actually stretched to stop that. But Galeno had his sight on goal, took it, bent it properly, and that was just good enough for Porto to win. But Mikel Arteta, he said Arsenal wasn't good enough. Yeah, you don't play like that and concede when it's almost finishing. That's lack of character. Let's listen to the manager.
Obviously very disappointed the way we gave the game away at the end and not managing that situation well enough. And you get punished in the Champions League. You cannot win it, you don't lose it. We really dominated the game, but we lacked purpose, especially in the first half, to have much more aggression, to break lines, to play forward, to generate much more threat in that back line. In the second half, there were much better things, and we generated a lot of situations without really creating much from it. But we will learn from it. Now it's clear, it's halftime. You want to be in quarterfinals, you have to beat your opponent, it's clear, and that will be the purpose and the plan with all our supporters together to do it. If in 94 minutes they haven't had any naivety on that one, I think it's a bit cruel to judge it, but it's true that it has had a big impact in the results. But a lot of all the things that they've done for the first time here, it was we knew, we prepared. That's something that referee has to manage. We cannot do anything about it, and we have to handle with it and play our game. Well, and credit to them as well, they defended well, but it's true that when we got in certain situations, we didn't finish the actions, we didn't put the right final ball or the right cross, even from set pieces as well, that every time we're touching somebody, it seems to be a foul before we even kick the ball. So we will learn from that and be better.
That's right. That's the right mentality. The team will learn from that, and let's see what they can do in the second leg. In Naples, Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen returned with a bang for Napoli, and his goal was good enough to stop Barcelona from leaving Italy with a win. That game ended. Barcelona won, Napoli won, Barcelona won, and that's, I think, Barcelona will go back to Spain and see how they can win it. But with Victor Osimhen, You never say never. And once again, Cecilia and Bolu, the media in Europe, they're talking about this guy. And they say, yeah, Thierry Henry was full of praise for Victor Osimhen. Wants him to go to PSG to replace Kylian Mbappe if he leaves.
No.
Good words to say about Victor Osimhen. And yes, indeed, I totally agree. He deserves all of the praises that he's getting at the moment.
Okay, we have to go.
I know there are some live games going on in the Europa League knockout stage. In the Europa League, some matches have been concluded. We're approaching halftime in the game between Marseille and Shakhtar Donetsk is 1-1. Roma and Feyenoord also, that game approaching halftime, and it's also 1-1. Sparta Prague and Galatasaray playing 1-1 also. But Sporting is having a 1-0 lead over Young Boys, and that game has just entered halftime. It's full-time here. In London, I'm Austin Okonakwan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Yeah, Bolo, it was nice doing this with you. I mean, Francesco Cazorla had just 48 hours to prepare for Barcelona, and a huge player, Osimhen, gave him the points he needed. Start up on the good notes.
When I didn't get the goals we wanted at AFCON, but it just showed again that I'm still the best player in Africa. What a beautiful goal, nice power and nice placement. That's the Victor Osimhen we want.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the program.
It was a pleasure being around.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a good night's rest.